Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Wow. I got excited seeing that one.
Do it again.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Does that not bring you back to your landscaping lighting days, Andy?
Oh God, yeah. I love things that make you go, wow. You can always do that with landscaping. Mother Nature's pretty impressive, guys. The ability to accent something, and this was mostly hardscapes. The idea of just the concept of walking on a dock and getting down into your sitting area where you can just chill out in the middle of your pool. Of course, now cut scene, you can see guys cannonballing and getting water in there, and it's half full of water, and you got to call the maintenance guy to get it fixed. But it's a very cool concept.
I don't know how super expensive that would be either. Looks like a lot of concrete. It doesn't look like there's filters and there's all that other stuff, but maybe there is. I don't know. It looks like in a decent area as well, because I think you're looking for return. I mean, obviously it's super cool if you're not worried about, hey, whatever it costs, but selling it is the other thing.
Right. Insane pools.
Yes.
And with that Lucas, whatever.
Yeah.
I love that show because I think that's everybody's fantasy, or a lot of people's fantasy, is to have this like Bellagio style pool in your backyard with grottos and waterfalls and lights and palm trees. I don't know what the return on investment would be for a $250,000 pool in your backyard, but I'm guessing it's going to be low. So if you're going to live there, stay there long term, you might do better.
I sold one. I'm going to take you off my wall here. That's a pool.
Dang, that's beautiful.
Isn't that awesome? And then it's on the lake too. Super
See,
cool,
that to me, now talk
Yeah.
about creating a lifestyle where you live at your resort. I can just see the guy cutting all the holes in there.
I think that's interesting. I think it's neat. I don't think you're watching a movie doing that, but I think you're creating the privacy, but yet adding almost like photos. I think that was pretty cool.
Would you do it? Well, but would you do it? I mean,
I don't know, like a certain room. Maybe that's
so. If you were trying to gain privacy, like you have a busy road or something in the back, and you don't want to see the cars, but you want the light to come through, that might be kind of a neat way to kind of screen it. Not 100%, but screen it, maybe 40 or 50%.
That's two boxcars on top of each other that they created, put stairs in and made them a house. And those are super cool.
Well, it's kind of neat is the recycling factor of it too, where they're taking I think those were those old ship containers where you can get them in 20 or 40 foot, increments. And then they just cut out the welds and they weld them together. And it's from an innovation, like Nick was asking us, I think it's innovative because they're not just throwing it in a scrapyard or recycling it. I think that's kind of cool. Now, if I was going to build, and by the time somebody figures out how to do that for you and they charge you twice what a regular house costs you to do, I don't know if I'd be interested in it. But on the other hand, if you were up in an area where you couldn't get labor, you couldn't get materials, what a great way to make a shelter that's probably very safe and would last a very long time.
I think it'd be kind of cool when I get my Yellowstone ranch to be able to have a couple of those out on the secondary houses.
Think about plumbing. Think about electric. Think about all that other stuff that you got to run through those walls. And I'm like going, so now you got a frame inside the unit. That's where my head immediately goes. It's like, well, how would you mechanically make this work? Heat, cool, whatever. Because now you got to give up half your container for, internal, furnace unit, AC unit. Because I guarantee you they're going to be hot as Hades in there. In the summer.
It's a ranch. You don't need that stuff, Andy.